exercise wrap. This is a standing wrap. So this is not to school the horses. This is for wrapping injured legs, supporting an injury. Some people trailer with them. The racehorses trailer in standing wraps. A support wrap for while they're in their bedroom if they've had a serious jumping session. Some of the trainers, some of the hunter jumper trainers, some of the dressage trainers, they put their horses in 4 standing wraps every night. It's just what they do. They put them in standing wraps at night. It's part of their system. All right. I never put standing wraps on unless I absolutely have to. So you need a quilt and you need a track wrap. Different than the polo wraps. All right. The polo wraps are for exercise. You don't want to put a track wrap on to exercise. All right. The track wraps are to go over the quilts. Bunch of different kinds of quilts. Bunch of different kinds of track wraps. Bunch of different colors. Find what you like. All right. So it's exactly the same idea. Again, just takes a lot of practice. Just takes a lot of practice. When you first start doing this, you're going to be really awkward. You just have to practice. All right. Hopefully you guys won't get too much practice with your standing wraps, because I think of the standing wraps as veterinary, and we hope that we don't have any veterinary issues, right? So hopefully you guys never have to use this ever. But if you do, so it's the same idea, all right? You're always pulling towards the tail against the bone, correct? With the standings, depending on, the quilts, depending on how long they are, you know, you might end up way up here, up above their knee and further down on their fetlock pastern, right? Totally okay. Okay, now, it takes a lot of coordination and you hope your horse doesn't move, but this mare is being so good. She hasn't moved an inch. She's being so good. Same idea as the polo wraps, all right? You start in about the same place. These are dirty because they've been sitting around because I don't use them, thank goodness. Okay, same idea. Start about there, pull the little flappy down, right? Exactly the same as the polos. Home mare, and you hope your horse doesn't move. And then you go up over. I always leave a nice little inch of white at the top, all right? Work your way down, pull against the front, release, pull against the front, release, pull against the front, release. And I always leave an inch at the bottom. These you don't have to cup around their fetlocks in the same way because they're not going to be schooling in them. All right, it's more for protection and support. So you don't have to cup around in the same way. You can just kind of take it to there, leave the pretty little inch of white, work your way up, try not to drop it like I just did. So I'm going to redo this, but just so you guys know, that's what you're all going to be doing when you're learning. You're going to be fumbling and you're going to drop it by accident, and then you're going to try to just make it work anyway like I just did. Then the Velcro, around the Velcro, and there's your beautiful support wrap. And they can sleep in those. They can sleep in those, they can hang out in those, they can get shipped in them. You don't want to exercise in them. This little horse is such a good girl. Oh, this is kind of fun. So we've got a polo wrap here, a schooling wrap here. We've got a galloping boot, a support boot there, a bell boot there, and a standing wrap there. I didn't mean to do that, but that's actually kind of fun, and it worked out really great. So I'm going to do the, we're going to take a little moment, and I'm going to do this one again without the fumble. Okay, when you prepare wraps, all right, you have to know how to roll them so that the Velcro ends up on the outside, all right? So you have to take the Velcro into the Velcro. When you roll them, take the Velcro into the Velcro. If you don't, you're going to end up having to redo it, all right? And always have these, she's down here, always have these prepared and ready to go. You always have them rolled, all right? So, Velcro into Velcro, Velcro, and you start rolling into Velcro. Now, I've gotten really good at it, and this is the way I do it. Different people roll their, good girl, thank you for getting off the quilt. Different people roll them differently. This is the way I roll them. I love them. You always want them to be prepared. You always want them nicely rolled, nicely prepared. I'm going to put this one on without the fumble. Good girl. So you can stick it under your arm. Again, like I said, I make all of this look really easy. It's not so easy at all. Have your quilt rolled, all right? And then, same exact game. Bring it around. I'm going to go a little faster this time because I already showed you guys how to do it. Let's see if I can do it without fumbling it because I don't get to practice the standings very often. Good girl. Take your little flap down, right? Go up one. And you know, you want them pretty, snug. You want them snug because they're supporting, so they're snug. Go down. You don't have to cup around the fetlock. Leave a pretty little band of white. Work your way back up. Be aware of what your horsey's doing with their back leggies. Okay, and if it all works out great, you end up right about in the middle of their leg. And there it is. And there's a beautiful standing wrap. Voila!